Hello, good evening folks, this is Steve the Headbanging Zulu here. You have to apologise about the light, but it doesn't really bother me tonight because I'm not really showing anything. I've just been watching YouTube videos and I saw Rock Scout Scott put up his video for his 250 subs contest, and it's absolutely brilliant. You've achieved that level of subscription, and congratulations buddy. And I just got my pen and paper out and entered your contest, so I thought I'd make the film now. And because I've got a film coming out tomorrow which I haven't recorded yet, but I know what I'm going to do, so I thought I'd do it. This is my official entry. And basically Rock Scout set 5 questions, and here's mine. The first question was favourite year in music and why. Well, my favourite years in music were about 81 up to about 91 or 92, and that's when heavy metal was absolutely awesome. But I'm going to say on my entry 1989, for the simple reason there was loads of good music around about 84 to 89, but it was the year that Wasp released The Headless Children. To me, probably the greatest heavy metal album ever recorded. So that's my answer to that question, so I'm going with 1989. Now, Scott, on question 2, asked me what my all-star band would be. This was a very difficult question, but I've chosen it. I could have had a lot more people, but I've just scrawled my notes out on this, you can see, and this is what I've written down. If I had a chance to put a band together, this is who I would have, and I'll also tell you the alternatives as well. But the most important part of it, let's start with the drummer. The first one that came to my head was Cozy Powell. He holds the world record for being in the most bands, but he was a phenomenally good drummer. But and also John Bonham out of Led Zeppelin. He would have given the band that woomph. So what I'm going to choose on that question is John Bonham out of Led Zeppelin on drums. Now let's look at my bass player. In all heavy metal, the bass player has to have a good relationship with the drummer, and I'm going for Ian Hill out of Judas Priest. For the simple reason they were from roughly the same area. I think Ian Hill comes from West Brom. They're both from the West Midlands. But I think they would have built a good relationship as the hardcore beat of the band, so that's my choice anyway. Now the 2 guitarists I've chosen gave me the big problem. The most important guitarist I choose for my band is John Sykes for my lead work. He would have been absolutely phenomenal, plus he could have helped with the songwriting duties. He had that string to his bow as well. But I think any band with John Sykes in is really going to be really good. Now, his partner in crime was another tough one. Richie Blackmore came up strong with me. But what you got to remember or Jimmy Page, or a lot about Steve Vai, or a lot of other guitarists. But the one that stuck with me, and the only one I think could keep up with John Sykes, is Jakey Lee, Ozzy Osbourne's old guitarist. He also played with Badlands. So them 2 on guitars together, I think you would have a super group. You know, they've just been absolutely amazing. I'm not going for a keyboard player for the simple reason I want this to be a heavy metal band, not a melodic metal or a symphonic metal band. This is just a pure out, thrash out heavy metal band. And I bet you can't guess me lead singer. Yes you can. There's only one lead singer for me in this band, and that was Rob Halford in the 80s when he was doing Sad Wings of Destiny, that era. He would have had the vocals would have been out of this world. Plus for a fact, because he had so many more ranges then than he does now, it would just have been out of this world. So that's my super group in the heavy metal. And don't forget, I've omitted the keyboards and anything else, but that is my choice for a band, the perfect heavy metal band for me. That is the lineup. I could have gone with Lemmy out of Motorhead on bass, or there's a load of other people. David Coverdale on vocals, he's another of my top 5 vocalists. but I've gone for the man that, cause I'm not biased because Rob Halford comes from just down the road from me. I just generally think he would have been the best one I could have picked. Now, the next one, favourite movie soundtrack. And I had to rack my brains out of this one, but that proved easy as well. It's Flash Gordon by Queen. I've got it on vinyl, and I always listen to it. I loved the film as well, especially Brian Blessed. He was just out of this world. But that would have been my favourite soundtrack, I think. Another close runner for that would be the Highlander, Queen again. That would have been my number 2 favourite soundtrack. But the one I would have gone for is Flash Gordon, the Queen one. The collaboration one is Scott Waters will laugh at this one, but I've gone for the Aerosmith and Run DMC Walk This Way. For the simple reason is it should never have worked, and how it did I will never know to this day. It's the least unlikely collaboration you could ever come up with. Basically Aerosmith and Run DMC collaborated to do Walk This Way, and it's a really, really good song. But I think Scott will have a chuckle. It's a bit like Judas Priest collaborating with Ariana Grande or Lady Gaga. It just will not work in a million years. But this collaboration, Aerosmith and Run DMC, it just worked. It just sounded really good, and so that is my favourite collaboration. Last but not least is my favourite live performance, and I've seen quite a few, loads in fact. But the best heavy metal live performance I've ever seen had to be, again, I'm biased again, but it's a local band, it's Judas Priest off the Painkiller. I saw them in '91 on the Aston Villa Leisure Centre, and man, it just blew your mind, especially when he did Victims of Changes and Painkiller. I've got Sad Wings of Destiny coming, and that is what, to me, one of the greatest heavy metal albums ever recorded. Because if you listen to the intro track of that, I think it's Victims of Changes. I can't see anybody else apart from Rob Halford ever performing a song like that. So that's my entries for the Rock Scout Scots competition. I hope he gets another 250 subs and crawls up to the 500 mark. It'll be brilliant. Reading lost again yesterday, and I was that sad I had to stay in the shower most nights because I was crying so much. So I just stayed in the shower. Man, what's going on, Reading? Anyway, folks, this is my entry to the contest. I hope I've given you something to talk about or debate. You may agree with me, or some of you may not, but que sera. And I'll probably see you tomorrow. Take care, folks. And this is a Zulu saying, love each other, and bye.